Hellohello, the serendipitous one of Serendib. Hellohello of Simhalatveep. Hello, 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 the serendipitous one of Serendib. Hello of Simhalatveep. Serendib, what lies behind the magnificent name Serendib? Many years ago, a Persian king and his famous poet sailed the Indian Ocean, and after a storm was stranded on a tiny magical island. The island is called their island Simhalatveep. In ancient Persia, poets were like kings, and so the Persian king and his wise poet formed the name Serendib from the magical Simhalatveep. And the island is known throughout Persia by this enchanting name. But who is Hellohello of Serendib, the serendipitous one of Serendib, or the serendipitous one of Simhalatveep? Listen, one fine day it pours down from all the clouds. Heavy rain is what the Sinhalese call these downpours. The water pours down in large puddles, formed on the roads and paths. This is what happens on many beautiful days on the beautiful island in the ocean where the Sinhalese live. An island straight out of a picture book. An island where most people are born with the most beautiful smile, and they are ready to give their smiles to everyone, including the strangers who have been coming and going to their island for centuries. In the center of the island, in the middle of a huge rainforest and green hills, lies the city of Kandy. And in the center of the city, like a holy water font, lies a lake with a tiny island whose enchanting palm tree waves before the astonished eye. Another special feature of this town are the crows, which fly around the lake in their thousands every evening, cawing so loudly that no one can understand what they are saying. Another special event are the elephants, which walk through the streets and are teased by the monkeys because the monkeys are nimble and cheeky, and the elephants are rather thick-skinned and thoughtful contemporaries. So one fine day, the heavy rain falls on the streets of Kandy, and the pelican ducks down and crawls under the dense baldachin on the trees by the lake, with hundreds of beautiful birds. The monkeys look for a cave, and the fish dive under to avoid getting wet. But the monitor lizard and the tortoise laugh at the sensitive creatures and remain perched on the branch of the tree, loitering and taking it easy, amused by the walkers who flee from the rain. Most of the time, in the monitor's experience, the rain shower does not last long, and the sun comes out again in a flash. The sky turns a smiling blue again, and the puddles disappear in a matter of seconds. And the pelican ducks down and crawls under the dense baldaquin of the trees by the lake with hundreds of beautiful birds. On one of these beautiful days, when it is pouring from all sides, heavy rain is falling on the ground, the water is pattering and large puddles are forming on the streets and paths. A dog with no name and no home is roaming around hungry with a crawling stomach, rummaging in the heaps of rubbish on the roadsides and creeping up the hill to look at the marvelous tulip trees that live up here on the green hills of the beautiful city called Candy. The nameless one did not really know where to go. Others, who had no name and a crawling stomach, were roaming around like him, and so he crept past them and walked on without greeting them. For these ownerless dogs were also following the nameless one and suspected that he might steal some food from them. But the nameless one lay down on a small heap in the grass and looked at the marvelous tulip trees, which were ablaze with sun-drenched light red flames, and adorned the blue sky of this beautiful city. But he couldn't get any rest. His stomach growled loudly, and the dogs around him snarled with their teeth. He, a stranger here, was forced to leave if he did not want to take any risks. So here, at the top of the green hill, which he had climbed with difficulty and hunger, he greeted the she-dog lying on the rubbish heap and taking her midday nap in the sun, while the young dogs suckled on their mother's teats. And the little monkey balances cheekingly on the power line, wishing him a good day and making a name for himself as a tightrope walker, jumping up and down, hanging on the power line with his arms, and shouting loudly and cheekingly to tease the stranger. Now the dog turns off and walks up a narrow path. A steep flight of steps shows the way between the tall palm trees. A rivulet nestles against the path, and a goat feasts and smacks and wiggles its ears merrily. Hunger shows his pace, but he does not allow himself a break. He walks slowly and hungrily, even creeps up the small path, and after just a few meters, sees a small but poor little house, in front of which the washing on the line is blowing in the caressing wind. He sniffs. No, he would not find anything edible here. But a tulip tree greeted him kindly. A blossom bent towards him and asked where he was going. When the tulip blossom heard his stomach crawling so loudly, it knew the answer, sighed and waved to him. The dog dragged himself up the path, always following his crawling stomach and his instinct that he might find a kind soul to give him a meal. The nameless one came to the top of a plateau, and there the palm trees were waving and looking at the stranger with curiosity, asking him jokingly, "Well, where did you come from?" Some dogs were already running towards him, and he, shy and timid, backed away fearfully, and then stopped at a distance. The palms sighed and called him the nameless one with the crawling stomach, and secretly wondered how long this stomach would have to crawl before it found a compassionate soul to redeem it. The palm trees sang in the purring wind, luring the dogs and monks who ran leaping out of the temple to listen to the palms. Yes, the nameless one was stranded at a temple, as he had already suspected, because he had seen the great Buddha who lives here in a small house. And he recognized the great tree they call Bo tree, the tree of enlightenment, under whose glorious crown the merciful one once found his enlightenment. And now the nameless one lay under the crown with his crawling stomach. The little monks who ran in droves to the palm trees noticed the guest in their temple and heard the crawling of his stomach, to which the palm trees sang. "Hello, hello!" shouted a little monk. "Hello, hello!" shouted the monks and laughed. "Hello, hello!" shouted the palm trees in its echo. The crowd of little monks came closer and closer, and the nameless one was afraid that they would chase him away. But hadn't they shouted, "Hello, hello," with a laugh? And didn't that mean that they were greeting him, the stranger, and inviting him to join them? A little monk came very close to the nameless dog, and when he senses that it is very sad and hungry, the little monk feels very sorry for it, because he too knew a time when his stomach crawled and he went to sleep and woke up hungry, with a crawling stomach, sad because he could not find anything to eat. He approached the nameless dog in a friendly manner and hugged him so that the nameless one was startled. He had never been hugged before. What a joy! The little monks came running up and joined the two of them, laughing and joking. Suddenly, an older monk makes his way through the children, and how it smells! He is holding a bowl in his hand, and in this bowl he has collected the remains of his lunch. and now he solemnly places it in front of the mouth of the nameless dog. "Hello, hello," says the kind-hearted monk, and wishes him good appetite, so that the dog's eyes filled with tears. The first time his eyes are filled with tears of joy. He is so grateful and so touched. Thus begins the wonderful friendship between the nameless dog they call Hellohello and the kind-hearted monk who himself lived in poverty and was often hungry as a child. The kind-hearted great monk still owns nothing but an empty bowl. He wears a robe and goes from house to house with his begging bowl, and people fill it with rice and vegetables, bananas, mangoes, avocados, biscuits, and tea. The monks show their gratitude by singing and praying for the people. They sing with most beautiful voices, and from the hill their voices fill the trees with thousands of leaves. The palm trees they wave in time with their prayers, and the valley is full of good cheer, because the monks pray to Buddha and ask for protection for all living and dead. So they all live happily on this beautiful patch of earth, on the hill of Hantana, where the palm trees sing merrily and the tulip trees are ablaze, throwing their blossoms to the monks from time to time. With Hellohello, who is neither nameless nor homeless now, live many little monks who themselves know hunger and a rumbling stomach, who themselves longed for a cozy pillow and a bed for the night and a roof over their heads. Many parents asked the kind-hearted monk to take their children into the temple because they were poor and their children were starving with them. Now the kind-hearted monk knew such a fate from his old childhood. He also knew how great his mother's need was after misfortune had befallen the family, and his father had been poisoned by a snake in the rice field. The young monks pet the dog, who is called Hellohello now by everyone, and I can't describe how happy Hellohello is because the monks, who go from house to house every day asking for a meal, share with him what is given to them as alms in their bowl. Hellohello's favorite place is under the sacred tree, the bo tree, as the Sinhalese call it. The sacred tree protects anyone who seeks shelter under it, and Hellohello knows that the Buddha found his enlightenment under this sacred tree many 100 years ago. So Hellohello lies well protected under the bo tree, and when the great monk with the good heart is nearby, he lies at his feet. Hellohello finds the hours when the great monk with the good heart sits on his throne and meditates, particularly beautiful. Meditating means that he looks deep into his heart and can see everything that happens in this world. Behind him sits Buddha on a golden throne. His golden baldachin is decorated with golden bells, and Buddha sits smiling on his throne and smiles as only a Buddha knows to smile. Hellohello is a faithful companion who loves to lie at the monk's feet when he sits on his throne and immerses himself deeply in his thoughts, devoting himself to the flow of water and finding in this flow a calm that descends over everything that surrounds him. Hellohello loves this peacefulness, and so he lies and closes his eyes, immerses himself in the peaceful sea at the monk's feet, and feels serendipitous that he has found his home here in this temple. Everybody calls him Hellohello, the serendipitous one of Serendib. So it happens that one beautiful day, the green hill of Hantana, bathed in a brilliant blue sunlight, the light is running out, and the great monk with the good heart takes his seat in the lotus position on his throne under the palm fronds, closes his eyes, folds his hand like Buddha, and sinks into the great peaceful sea, immersing himself in his meditation. As we know, the monk now looks into the innermost part of the world, gazes into its heart, and lets it shine. Here he finds a peace that Hellohello loves, for no stomach growls, no dog snarls, the wind lies still, and the birds close their eyes. The trees bend and sigh, looking forward to the morning when the sun rises golden in the east and bathes the hill in a velvety pulse red light. Hellohello lies at the foot of the throne and gazes benevolently at the monk, sighing because he has so happily found peace here, and because his good heart is also immersed in the innermost depths of the world. Suddenly, there is a rustling in a corner of the temple. Hellohello raises the head in a flash and pricks up his ears. A shadow crawls like lightning from under the wall with the holy books. A shadow that slithers Hellohello senses great danger. Just a rustle and a shadow. It shoots towards the throne at lightning speed, shoots up the back and stands behind the throne where the great monk with the good heart is sitting and smiling. Hellohello realizes, in a flash, Hellohello realizes that the good great monk is in great danger, that this shadow can kill him. Hellohello dashes to the side, throwing himself at the snake that is behind the monk, while the monk is looking at the heart of the world, and his joy at what he sees shines all over his face like a sun. Before the snake can bite and spread his venom, Hellohello grabs the snake and fights for his friend's life, overpowering the snake before it can poison his friend. But our Hellohello, he bravely faces the danger and saves his friend's life. But he has to give his own. The snake kills Hellohello with its poison, and shortly after the lifeless snake lies next to him, our Hellohello dies, and the great monk finds his lifesaver next to his throne with a smile on his face. Hellohello has saved the life of his great friend. Full of gratitude, the monk carries his friend out of the temple and lays him under the sacred tree at the feet of Buddha. The tears of the little monks flow down the hill, and the palm trees wave in a sad song for Hellohello. Hellohello, they shout into the willow and over the hills. Hellohello has saved a life. And so the story of this wonderful dog is told by the little and great monks. They sing and pray for him. They pray for his good rebirth and thank him for this beautiful time. The palm trees also sing the song of the faithful one who defeated the snake and whose smile looks into the innermost part of the world and carries its radiance to us. This is how he is remembered in my heart. And when I think of him, his smile beams across my face, and I hear the palm trees shout, Hellohello, your heart will always beat for you. and you will be always in our mind. Hellohello, the serendipitous one of Serendib. Hellohello of Simhalat Fever is dedicated to the Venerable High Priest Vimala Damma Thero.